Hi all! Today we're going to be taking a look at the VX6-7, what I believe is the Vanu Sovereignty's best carbine. So the VX6-7, in a nutshell, has a good time to kill. It kills very quickly, in fact. It is very easily controlled, it has a good reload speed, and it gets 0.75 ADS, which makes it effective while aiming down sights as well as hip firing. The VX6-7 is a very, very nice carbine. It was actually my favorite out of the 5 I did for my Iraq Scene directive, and I genuinely think it is the best carbine available to Vanu. It's a lot of fun to use, it's very nice to use, it doesn't have any weird gimmicks that make it unfun to use. It's just a very nice weapon that performs really well. So, it is an 800 at 143 carbine, which is pretty good, puts out pretty good damage. The muzzle velocity is at 465 meters a second, but just lead. The reload speeds are relatively good at 2.75 long, 2.15 short. You get the standard 30-round mag, and your hip and aim stats are relatively good. So the VX6-7 is just a very nice carbine to use. It's well-rounded, as I mentioned, you get 0.75 ADS, so, you know, it's just nice to use. The recoil pattern isn't that bad if you're aiming down sights, and it's good to use hip fire as well, because it spits out bullets that hit fairly hard. It's just a very, very nice weapon to use. So, in the way of attachments, you get your standard 1 to 4x scope lineup. I would stick to a 1. Generally, you will be using the VX6-7 in closer ranges, but you can make it work a little bit farther out, so if you want to run a 2x you can, I would just recommend a 1. On the barrel, in my opinion, you either run the short or the flash. Flash, of course, is the standard slot filler. The short is good if you like to hip fire, but the weapon is still relatively easy to control while aiming down sights, even with the short barrel's penalty, so you can just run it at all times if you'd like. Suppressor is, of course, up to you. And the heavy barrel, like all other heavy barrels, is shit. In the rail, you've only got 4 options here, unfortunately, and honestly, they're all fine options. If you want more aim-down sights performance, you can take the grip or the angled grip. It's up to you, just whether you feel like you need that first shot recoil, or if you just need general horizontal recoil. The laser's also particularly good if you're going to commit to the hipfire build, but it's not necessary as the VX6-7 already has fairly good hipfire to begin with. In the ammunition slot, you've only got soft point, take soft point. It's a close quarters carbine. Obviously, you take soft point. So I'd like to take a minute here to compare it to its closest competition, the Serpent. Because, like the VX6-7, why does it keep reloading my gun? That's strange. The Serpent is 845 at 143, but suffers from worse stats elsewhere. They are similar carbines in design, but between the two, I think the VX6-7 is a significantly better option. You only lose a small bit of damage to gain 0.75 ADS, better soft stats, and an easier recoil pattern. So, if you want more of a pure bullet hose, the Serpent is absolutely fine. Whereas if you want a more well-rounded carbine that still kills efficiently, definitely take the VX6-7. It's very nice, it performs extremely well, it's easy to use, and it kills quickly. So, it is currently 10:06 PM on Connery, on a Wednesday night in the middle of an Indar alert, which is unfortunate, but you know what? We do what we can to put out content, you know? So of course, we're just going to use the gun for a bit in live gameplay, you know the drill by now. You know, I'll show you how this gun performs. Honestly, the VX6-7 in comparison to the Serpent, what it really does really well that saves you is, sure it doesn't kill quite as quickly as the Serpent, but the soft stats more than make up for that difference. For example, the faster reload speed will save you when you need to bullet hose a target down. The better recoil pattern will make it so that when you need to aim down sights to pick targets a bit further away, that'll just be generally easier. And of course, it'll just be better 1v1ing if you're aiming down sights, because you have more move speed. If you need to hip fire, it does have slightly better hip fire cone of fire than the Serpent, so if you're raw just hip firing it, it is arguably a better option than the Serpent. And of course, that faster reload will save you a lot, because realistically, you'll probably only be getting 1, maybe 2 kills a magazine. In general, you'll probably be reloading before you enter every engagement, so having a little bit faster reload will save you from time to time. It's just a really nice carbine. It's really easy to pick up and just use and do well with. I honestly cannot really say anything too bad about it, because, you know, if you did buff it in any way, it might honestly become too strong. It's just a really, really nice carbine to use. And if you're going for Vanu Sovereignty's Carbine directive, it absolutely should be on your list. especially when you think about just how mediocre most of the mono carbine lineup is, having a standout weapon like the VX6-7 will certainly make your time easier, and it's just a good weapon to use. Of course, if you can't aim, you will still get drilled in the head, but that's for any gun, and is more indicative of my skill as a player, or rather, lack thereof. I wish I had more to talk about on the VX6-7 itself, because that's always the problem I have when I talk about good guns, is because, you know, it's just good. I explain what makes them good, and then it's kind of just me playing the game and talking about whatever comes to mind. And I'm sure not everybody enjoys that. In fact, I'm willing to bet most people probably just stop as soon as I've gotten, like, the main discussion out of the way. But when I'm reviewing a bad gun for comparison, stuff like the Schrodinger, the Tengu, you know, I can talk for a while about, you know, why they're not very good. And I can make the video more engaging that way. But, you know, with good guns like the VX6-7, what am I supposed to say about this thing? It's a good carbine. This is what makes it good. Now go and use it. But it is absolutely worth your time. So I'm going to take a second here just to deviate from standard operating procedure a little bit. I used to stream on Twitch a lot. However, I stopped doing that. But now that I'm on YouTube, and given how many people are watching these damn things, like, thank you very much. This is completely out of, like, I definitely didn't expect so many people to be watching these videos. And it means a whole lot. But would you be interested in watching, say, streams on YouTube if I were to start doing them? Obviously, I don't have enough subscribers, so I can't make a community post, so I'm just going to have to answer in a video that probably not everyone will see to the end. But, as they say, it is what it is. But, yeah, if you'd like to see me, like, stream on YouTube, just, I don't know, drop a comment or something or other, I don't know. There's not really a good way for you to let me know, but nonetheless, that is the ask of the day. What else was I gonna say? I don't really know. I'm just kind of using the VX6-7. I keep wanting to call it the Serpent for some reason. Probably because the Serpent, you know, is... When you think about the VX6-7, you probably directly compare it with the Serpent, because they're so alike, right? So. Alright, we're at 7 minutes. We'll probably do 1 or 2 more lives to call it, I suppose. You know, never hurts to showcase the gun a little bit more. Only for my watch retention. But, man. You know what, that's probably a good place to call it. This fight is shit anyway, I'll be real, so... Yeah, thank you very much to everyone who's watching these. It seriously does mean a lot. It's been absolutely outstanding just how many people tune into these silly, dumb little videos. And, yeah, if you'd like to watch me stream on YouTube, I mean, it'll probably be mostly plan aside because I've got directives to grind. But, like, you know, if there's stuff you want me to, you know, if you'd be interested in watching streams, just let me know. And, of course, Discord is in the description. That's a better way to communicate with me if you're so involved. And, yeah, thank you all very much, and I will see you again tomorrow with something I still don't know, because I make these videos up on a day-to-day basis. So, see ya.